Hello and welcome to Ulster Rugby headquarters for the 145th Schools Cup final. It's RBAI against Ballymena Academy, and it's a chance to make a little bit of history.
Campbell's 22. Here goes Boyd, the captain. Boyd, oh my word, he scored the winning try for RBAI in the very last minutes of this game. And here is the cup going to be held aloft once again by the captain of RBAI. The 33rd outright win for the Royal Belfast Academical Institution.
The Kingspan Stadium is ready for another Schools Cup final. It is one of the great days in the local sporting calendar. Alongside me for this one, Johnny Bell, who won the Schools Cup way back in 1992. I think we're both feeling a little bit old. How are the memories of those good old days, Johnny?
Well, I think TVs back then were in black and white. That's how long ago. It's mind you, still very vivid in my memory. One of the best days of my life. I mean, you grow up, you watch when you're in first year, those fifth years, lower six, upper six boys winning or competing, and you just want to be there. You want to experience that, and so to get that opportunity, unfortunately we lost in 91, but to actually be part of it with all your friends around you and to win it was just a special thing. So yeah, it still to this day is one of the biggest days of my life.
You won the World Cups with Ireland, you won a European Cup with Ulster, but is the Schools Cup unique and special because of those bonds that you had with your schoolmates?
Well, absolutely. It's because of the people you do it with, and it's like everything in life. It's who you do it with, and I was a boarder at Coleraine Inst at the time, and there were 7 boarders in that team, and the day boys all wanted to be boarders, so we all were so tight as a group, and the memories that we made. We came through from medallion right the way through as a group to the senior team, and yeah, special times. Special times,
and it's always a special atmosphere. Is that the key today, coping with the noise and the occasion?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of these guys, this might be the first time that they've experienced like Kingspan with whatever, 12,000 people here, cheering them on or booing them, as the case may be. It might be the case that some of them have played in it before. So, yeah, there's a bit of a mixture, but to deal with the pressure, you get this one opportunity, and you've invested so much time, and your team have invested so much time, but they've got to enjoy it, because first and foremost, that's what it is to be about. You've got to enjoy these moments, because you might never experience that again in your life.
How the teams are feeling. Faith Harper managed to catch up with both camps a short time ago.
I'm joined by RBAI head coach Jamie Kirk. Jamie, how are you feeling? How's the nerves? The fans pouring in?
The nerves are definitely there, but I think there would be something wrong if they weren't. So it's exciting, and I think now it's just about having some sense of familiarity with it and going through a normal routine. So exciting, but good challenge. And
what's the atmosphere been like in the school in the build-up to today?
It's amazing. We've been quite fortunate this year to be in a number of finals, and I think there's the same level of support throughout them all, and it's all sort of culminated to today. So there's a brilliant buzz around the school, and the boys are really excited.
And how have the players been preparing for the big occasion today?
To be honest, a similar enough routine to the way we would approach most games. We have a bigger window between the semi-final and final than what we'd be used to. So we started with reviewing our own performance in the semi-final, and then a bit of work on the opposition of Ballymena, and then leading into the game itself, we try and keep the routine as normal as it could be. So it's been exciting.
You've said there you've done a bit of work on Ballymena. What are you expecting for them, and what do you know about them?
Well, they're a good side, and obviously they executed their game plan well in the semi-finals. So today's game might be dictated on the focused on ourselves and making sure that we can execute what we know we can do.
So, John, what has the atmosphere been like around the school since you qualified for the final?
Oh, it's been first class now, so the whole school's buzzing. And credit to all the pupils now, they've started up this Barmy Army, so they've been out practicing at break time and lunchtime over the last 5 days before the St Patrick's weekend there, so learning all their chants, so it should be fairly electric here today.
And tell me, what's so special about this group of players? So they've been out practicing lunchtime, break time, like what makes them so special?
I think the fact that there's so many of them in upper sixth, there's 18 of them that are involved today in the matchday 23 of the squad here that have come through from the mini rugby's at Ballymena Rugby Club. So they're so close, they spend so much time together, and they have a history of obviously being successful in all the wee junior tournaments, and the under 16 tournament obviously they were very successful here at the Kingspan. So yeah, just I suppose that experience of success and that closeness and togetherness that they have obviously sits them well for big games.
And what are you expecting from RBAI today going out into the game?
Well, again, RBAI are the current holders, so a lot of experience, I suppose, for the players who were involved winning it last year. They're a well-drilled side, and again, they've got their Ulster guys that are in coaching as well, and Will and Callum, etc. So, the fast pace, they started very well against Wallace, and they finished the game off well there. So, yeah, they'll bring it probably very quickly, I would say, in the first half. The tempo will be very high, so we've talked about that and, what to expect from them, and just, try and weather those purple patches, take our breaths, and then regrip where we can.
And there'll be a big crowd here today from Ballymena. What would it mean to the team and to the fans to win a 4th Schools Cup?
It would be fantastic. Like I said, there's over, I think, 1,000 pupils coming here today, so they're all massively excited, and obviously that builds into that culture and ethos that I mentioned briefly there before. Massive from the town as well. Like all the other schools have been in touch, wishing everybody best of luck in the rugby club as well, and all the supporters and all the guys that have even been involved with coaching through the school. It's just been great, so hopefully they can get the business done today, and we're just looking to perform.
Well, Johnny, if the semis are anything to go by, we should hopefully see some tries today.
Absolutely, it's kind of a real good match-up today because we've got the firepower in the backs that Ince possess, with Joshua Gibson in those wide channels being very dangerous, and then we've got Ballymena, strong pack, forward dominated, and Charlie Hargey, big drives up the middle. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they mix it up, seeing how can Ince manage to stop that pack, and can Ballymena manage to get in space in the wide channels and stop the threat of their back. So I expect lots of tries, yeah.
Today, I suppose there's a chance to see some potential superstars as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. This is the shop window for lots of young guys to kick on. But we've Jacob Boyd and Bryn Ward here going on to 21s, 20s. So it's a good opportunity for them to get their face in the shop window and move on. And yeah, some of them will be looking forward to really making sure people know who they are after today.
Yeah, let's bring the boys in. Superstars from the Schools Cup last year: Bryn Ward, Jacob Boyd. Bryn, let's start with you. How are the memories? Still vivid?
Oh yeah, no, we're standing there chatting, and we were saying this time last year we were out there, and the atmosphere here was always unreal. So no, I'd say the boys are really looking forward to it, especially having that experience from last year as well.
It was a different pitch, but the big moment came at the very end for you.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, he'd kill me if I didn't add him in this. Bryn, obviously, with that big carry on the left side, setting it up, and then I just remember looking up, seeing that gap, and then just taking the ball, and there was nothing stopping me getting over that try line. It was a great experience. Great day.
Bryn, you're taking full credit for the build-up.
Oh no, I don't know about that. He finished it off pretty well, to be fair to him, but it was more the belief from the whole team, to know that we could go on, and we didn't want to tie the thing. We were looking to try and take the win, so yeah, no, it was good.
And what you really see in those pictures as Jacob lifts the trophy, the crowd, the atmosphere was huge, and they were in the stand just behind you here. It was enormous, and they played their part.
Yeah, I mean, coming out and hearing the school, there's nothing that can beat it. Just that getting the whole school behind you, it just when you're going to a dark place, the game's getting tough. Last 80 minutes into injury time, you look up and you see that, it just keeps you feeling going, keeps you going to the very end.
You've been going on to bigger and better things with Ireland and the Six Nations with the under-20s. How special has it been?
Yeah, I know it's been a class Six Nations. Obviously, we were a bit unfortunate there not to win it without losing the game. But it was a class experience throughout the whole thing, and it's just made the year transition out of school being class. It's really been enjoyable.
How have you found the jump up?
Definitely a major jump. Obviously, the level of school is very good, but when you jump to international, it is a serious jump. But with the coaching we have in Ireland and everything, it is, you're very well prepared for it going into the first game.
You mentioned the coaching. Richie Murphy, the under-20s coach, is coming up to Ulster. What can the fans and the players expect?
Oh, look, he's an unreal coach. Like, from what we've had with him, like through all the camps and all the games, like he's next level, and he's definitely at that level of the professional game. But yeah, no, we're really looking forward to. Everyone's looking forward to having him up here, and I'd say he'll do a good job.
Would you give us a final bit of advice potentially for some of those young guys who'll be in the dressing room getting ready at this point?
I think just the main thing is to go out and enjoy yourself. You know, you could be sitting there worrying about the result, worrying about the last 80 minutes. You know, you just got to take it moment by moment, play rugby and just have fun. You know, it's not every day you get to play Kingspan in the final.
Your brother's playing?
Yes, he is, and he was a bit quiet this morning. He was nervous, but I'm sure he's up for it. He's looking forward to it.
Is there any point in asking Ince to win it?
Oh yeah, of course. I back them. Like, you have to. You have to.
Okay, boys, enjoy. We'll let you go and take your seats. Yeah, it should be a huge day, Johnny. Great to see the boys. That's, I suppose, what it's all about, coming back, and they're still basking in it.
Absolutely. Well, they've had a fantastic under-20s campaign, and the same two boys played here last year. They knew what it's all about, and that was the shop window for them to kick on. So yeah, it's an opportunity for all these players to really enjoy the moment, and some of them will kick on and play representative rugby for the province or for Ireland, or some of them this might be the end of the rugby journey, but it's a special moment for them.
Yeah, what do you want to see from both teams today?
Yeah, well, look, the conditions are actually quite nice. A little bit windy. I'd expect it to be quite a physical battle up front, but Ince have a lot of firepower out wide, and I would imagine they'll try and push the ball into the wide channels and get, as I say, Joshua Gibbs and Alec Place into the game nice and early. Ballymena will be, a big back row. Will be looking to carry up the middle and really take this Ince pack on first and foremost.
How will they be feeling in that tunnel? Do you remember the nerves?
Oh, long time ago. Look, they'll be nervous, but they'll be on the edge. They'll be excited to get out there and get on with it, cheered on by their whole school population. So it's a brilliant time for them.
We spent a bit of time doing some big games over the last few weeks with Ireland, but this atmosphere is pretty different, isn't it?
It's great, isn't it? It's actually, because I've been away for a few years, and it's so good to come back to Kingspan for a schools cup final. It means so much to the whole province. Everybody just loves it, and the schools get behind their teams, and you can see St Patrick's Day weekend, and it's a real positive vibe, and it's the pinnacle of schoolboy domestic rugby. So it's great to see.
Okay, let's get to it, Johnny. Thank you. We'll join our match commentators, former Ulster half Ian Humphreys, and as ever, Jim Neely.
Thank you very much, Gavin. Thank you very much, Johnny Bell. This is a remarkable game every single year, and this year is made even more remarkable that this is the 100th anniversary of the very first Schools Cup final played here at Ravenhill Park in Belfast. The first way back in 1924, when Ballymena Academy were in the final. On that occasion, they lost out to Camber. And out they come in, the holders, looking to repeat what they did last year, albeit in the very, very last minute, and a lot of hearts have not stopped beating since Jacob Boyd thundered over. Well, the holders of 10 of last year's final squad back in duty. Blake Crane's move from loose head to tight head prop. Fellow front row men Ewan Patterson, Zach Mullen, who were on the bench a year ago, as were locks Lachlan Sweeney and Milo Carter. Flanker James Cox was at hooker. Scrum half Cam Soper returns for the second successive final. Ince of Josh Gibson at full-back, Alex Place in the wing, and captaining the side from the centre, Irish Schools representative Fraser Cunningham. There's plenty of experience in Ballymena's forward pack, with hooker Callum Musto, prop Dion Fleming and lock Conan Scullion in their third season. Flanker Rhys Williamson and number 8 Charlie Hargy have represented Ulster at schools levels. Out half Robbie Coleman's the side's leading point scorer, and he partners another man in his third season, James McElroy. The three-quarter line has serious pace, with Sean Mackay and Ben Neely both Ulster underage reps, and leading the academy side is left wing Michael McLean. A huge day in the rugby lives of all these young men. The referee, incidentally, is Chris Busby, former captain of the Ballyclare High School first 15, and now well established at the highest levels. And away we go. Charlie O'Connor Gets the ball down into the Ballymena 22, and Ballymena have gathered it in, and they've cleared it pretty nicely. There's not much in the way of wind. There was a little bit of rain forecast due to come in about 3:30, and we keep our fingers crossed that that is not the case. The first set piece is always a crucial one, and throwing the ball in is the Ince-Franker James Clark, who played hooker in last year's final. So he's still been utilised as the man to get the ball in from touch. Nicely done by Ince. A quick short ball, and Clark comes round himself and takes it in, and then drive forward. And that's a good piece of set forward play by the boys from the middle of Belfast. Scrum half Cam Soper just urging his pack to go on. They've made decent ground. Now they play it. That's a flat pass, and Charlie O'Connor, just in 5th year, gets it away. Good Ballymena defence inside their own 10-metre line, but Ince get it away. Big drive from prop forward Blake McLean. Moved across from one side of the front row to the other. Ballymena up very quickly, not allowing Ince any movement. That's gone backward, methinks. Chris Busby thinks so too. Ballymena couldn't quite turn it over. Chance now for Ince. This is a bit better. That's gone wide. And into touch. And all that came about by good Ballymena defending. Ian Humphreys.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jim. Yeah, great defence first up by Ballymena. I think one of the big battles today is obviously going to be the number 8s of Charlie Hargy and Adam Boyd, both 5th years who have played against each other through the school. We just saw early Boyd with the carry and Hargy managing to make the good hits. So Ballymena withholding the early pressure. Now they're going to have to make sure they get through the phases themselves.
Callum Musto. Ballymena's hooker and thrower in. Well taken. That was nicely done by Ballymena, and a good forward drive. Johnny Nicholl has them well organised. They were terrific in the semi-final against Sullivan Upper. They've got into the Ince half. Chris Busby saying to the Ince defenders, don't change your bind. Now it comes back, but it's well gathered in. There's nothing illegal about that, and that was a good piece of play by big Blake McLean. Forward go the academy. James McElroy gets it away. Nobody's thought about kicking the ball yet so far. No wonder. That's good play once again by the boys from County Antrim. Conan Scullion makes a bit of ground for Academy. Now there's a chance. That's well up by Ince and by wing 3/4 James Kerr. Ballymena pushed back almost to halfway. Well, no lack of appetite for using the ball. Ballymena's tight forwards have got inside the Ince half. That's a teaser. Well gathered in. Well tackled and into touch. And good work by Ben Neely, the very, very pacey Ben Neely.
Scrum half, his box kicking was on point, and that was a great chase by Ballymena there, knocking the Ince fullback into touch to now have another attacking line out. Again, as you mentioned, the line out, Jim, so well drilled. So tight. They're going after every ruck. They're trying to get turnovers, and Ballymena just need to try and hold on to possession.
Chris Busby brought the Ballymena Academy skipper Michael McLean over to have a word with him about the conduct of his fellow winger Ben Neely. Just a gentle telling off from Chris Busby, who's getting better all the time as a referee. He's going to go right to the top, I do believe. That's good play by Ballymena Academy. Good support play by loose head prop Matthew Wright. In goes McElroy. Hooker Callum Musto. And Ince defend well back in the Ballymena side. This is good stuff from Ballymena. McElroy again. Matthew Wright again. Lovely low body position. Great pressure coming on now from Ballymena. Conan Scullion is featured prominently once again. Ballymena trying to create a little bit of space. Sean McKay, the fullback, came in. Ince defending pretty well. One little missed tackle could be costly. Good work by James Clark, the Ince flanker. Away by McElroy. That was Coleman. Oh, intercept by Ince. And they're not going to catch this fella. This is going to be a try for Ince. And it's going to be James Kerr who gets in underneath the academy post. How unfortunate was that for the boys from Ballymena. But 5.5 minutes gone, and James Kerr gets his first try in the competition this year. And what a time and what an occasion to score.
Yeah, great reading defence there by James Kerr. You could just see as Ballymena create a slight overlap, they were trying to play that ball out the back. Second time in the game, Kerr's come in looking for that. He made a spot tackle earlier, and he just reads the pass. Unfortunately there, I think it's Carson just throws the pass, and had it got away, Ballymena had the overlap and had made the space up the side. But brilliant awareness by Kerr, and you can just see him enjoying it, saluting to the crowd as he runs it in.
Well, he ran toward the end where most of the schoolboy supporters are, and look at this, he knew nobody was going to catch him. He's pretty quick, and he didn't slow down, and he touched it down, and what a good start for RBAI, the holders. Nicely struck conversion by Ince and by Alex Place, and we played just over 6 minutes gone, 6.5 minutes gone, and Ince leading 7 points to 0.
Yeah, that'll be huge disappointment for Ballymena after so much pressure. And the key for these young guys are do not go into their shell. Keep playing, keep trying to be adventurous, keep backing yourself, and hopefully these opportunities will come to make amends.
Robbie Coleman puts it down into the Ince 22, just about. Back in the inside. That'll give them a huge amount of confidence. James Clark took it forward. Callum Soper, his first kick of the game. That's a good one, well taken in though by Ballymena. Did it go forward? Not so, says Chris Busby. Away by McElroy. Hooker Callum Musto in his upper 6th year. Coleman, little flat pass. Didn't have a forward pass about it, but it seems to be fine. Coleman again. Ballymena very nearly breaking that in defensive line. And again, Matthew right in the middle of that helps to winkle it back to scrum half McElroy. Tight head prop Dion Fleming, who's a big unit as well, takes it on. He's an upper 6th as well. Very mature Ballymena side this. Kicked by James McElroy. Well gathered in and well released by Ince. There's a wee chance that they can shift this. Josh Gibson went to ground. They just need the quick ball. They've got it. Soper decides to put the boot to it. Oh, he's done well. Ballymena's James McElroy goes to ground. Likes to cover. Robbie Coleman had to go into the scrum half position. Ballymena got that to ground. Yes, they have. That's good work by the forward pack.
And use it. It's in. It's in.
McElroy got underneath that one. That's a good catch and a good tackle and good work by the Ince full back Joshua Gibson, playing in his 2nd successive final. Back inside to Ince, and again it's Ewan Patterson, who came off the bench and got a Schools Cup medal a year ago. Well away by inside half Charlie Gray. Change of direction by Ince. Zach Molyneux has done really well to prop forward across the 10-metre line. Charlie O'Connor just in 5th form. Ince on the narrow side. This is good work by Soper. They find him hard to bring down. Now Ince need a scrum half, and they haven't got a scrum half, but they've got a penalty awarded by referee Chris Busby, who's now a member of the IRFU High Performance Referees outfit.
Yes, great attack by Ince, Jim. You can just see they weren't gaining much yards going around the corner, so they just came back down the blind side. Soper's been excellent so far, just sniping around the fringes, finding a little bit of staggered defence, getting over the gain line and giving Ince the opportunity now to break into the Ballymena 22 with a dangerous line out.
Callum Silver's dad, Dan, a former director of rugby at Ince, now with Ulster, was acting head coach for one game, heading off tomorrow to South Africa with the team for 2 games in the league tournament in South Africa. And that was a little bit unfortunate for Ince. Ewan Patterson's throw was judged not to be straight. No TMOs in schools rugby, which is wonderful. It means that it all motors on at a great pace.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. I think we have to remember that the referees are there just to try and get us a game of playing, and the stop-start nature of it is not ideal. So Chris Busby, as you've mentioned, is a great referee. I'm sure he'll try and get the game to flow, and he'll be looking for an exciting brand of rugby as well. So Ballymena with a bit of a let-off there now, just making sure they all getting rid of the sort of exit zone and making sure they clear their lines cleanly.
I suppose he was involved in no fewer than 6 games as an assistant in the World Cup last summer, and was on duty in Cardiff last week when Wales were turned over by Italy, which is one of the most extraordinary results in the modern Six Nations. And Ince just going forward and giving away the free kick, just nudging forward at the scrum before the ball was put in. Slightly over-eager. 2 very well-matched packs, 2 very strong front rows. That's well cleared by Robbie Coleman now. It was only a free kick and not the full penalty. So Ince will have the line out again. There's a wee bit of a breeze down below, but not much.
No, Jim, pretty perfect conditions really. We've been here many a day where it's been cold, it's been rainy, but it's lovely, and obviously with this pitch it's good underfoot, so expect a few boys to be crumping up later on with a fast game, hopefully.
Hopefully not. Long line out throw, well taken in by Ince. Soper gets it away. Now Ince move. That was a skipper Cunningham. That was a good pass by Charlie O'Connor. Ince still motoring forward. Josh Gibson had come into the line. Still Ince again. Almost up to the Ballymena 22 for the first time since the intercept try. Aggressive stuff by Ince. Ballymena's defence up to it at the moment. O'Connor playing in the outside half position. That might have been given, but it might not need to have been given. Ince then quickly. Men over. That's lovely stuff by the boys from RBAI. Soper gets it away. Here they come again. This is the captain, Fraser Cunningham, played in the centre last year. And he's earned Ince a penalty, and it's very kickable. And at this stage of the game, I can't see Ince doing anything other than going for the post.
No, I'd imagine so, Jim. Just try and chip away at the scoreboard. We saw there Fraser Cunningham so dangerous in the semi-final of that, attacking out the back of the forward pods. Obviously Ballymena have him well wrapped up, but unfortunately just in that tackle got caught there, couldn't roll away, and it should be a relatively straightforward kick for Alex Place, who kicked so well in the semi-final.
Already we've got somebody down with cramp. Both sides post semi-final have been training on artificial pitches. Ballymena Academy down at Allen Park in Antrim, and in some of the pitches at Newforge in Belfast. This to go 10-0 up. Well, now that is a bit of a surprise, and that will give Ballymena such a boost, because instead of going 10 behind, they're still 7 behind, but it's very unlike Alex Place, who's been kicking pretty well all year.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of nerves perhaps, because his first kick was a wee bit low and wobbly as well, so he'll be disappointed with that. Key for him now is to get hands on the ball and get over that mistake now, just to move on with the game and think of the next job.
Gathered in by Ince, driven forward by number 8 Adam Boyd, who's only in 5th year and is a very big unit. This is good stuff by Ince. That looked a bit forward, but the referee's happy enough, and forward they go. Gathered in by try scorer James Kerr, who's bundled into touch, and that will give Ballymena the throw into the line out. Ballymena, apart from that intercept try, defence has been pretty good in.
Yeah, it's been excellent. The first up tackling has been outstanding, and I think Inster realising that it's a bit of a brick wall in front of them, and that's why we've seen a couple of times that Charlie Gray, that Joshua Gibson, they've been looking to attack down the short side, Jim, where Ballymena are slightly undernumbered because of the willingness to get round the corner and make their hits.
Callum Mustoe, the Ballymena hooker. It's been knocked forward by Ince. Referee is playing advantage to Ballymena, and they have taken advantage, and away comes Alexander Gibson. He gets pulled to ground, and Ballymena have earned themselves a penalty. Well, that was a brave piece of counter-attacking. It's wonderful to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Alexander Carson will be delighted. He, unfortunately, was the one that with the intercept, so he'll know that carry there has just changed the momentum, Jim. It's given, you hear the crowd coming into you see the team getting that little bit of an energy again, and hopefully now, if Robbie Coleman can knock this sort of 15-20 metres into half, then it gives out Ballymena a great opportunity to attack, and that's a fantastic kick now, really deep into the 22.
Yes, it was not Gibson, it was Alexander Carson who set the whole thing up, and it was his outside half, Robbie Coleman, who's put Ballymena into the Ince 22 for the first time in this game. Coming up to the halfway point in this Danske Bank Schools Cup final for 2024. For Ince, that's their 39th final. Ballymena eventually win the line-out ball, taken on by Rhys Williamson, who's the vice-captain for Ballymena. James McElroy gets it away again. Conan Scullion, a big unit, his third year on the first 15. Lovely delayed little pass. Oh, there's a huge gap, and Ballymena are going to get back in this game. And it's Daniel Verco Rogers, DVR as he's known, burst through a rather lacklustre Ince defence, and what a very good try, conversion to come, and Ballymena are there.
Yeah, great try by Verco Rogers. A real danger man in this Ballymena backline. Was shackled a little bit in the semi-final, but there you just see what a line he ran. He just hits it at pace, finds a blind shoulder, and when he's hitting it that kind of line, and it's just brilliant, Jim. Just watch the replay as you see how James McElroy doesn't just pass in the base. He takes a couple of steps, and all of a sudden the Ince defenders hesitate, they turn in, and then that's where Verco Rogers are able to hit that great line between two defenders, and just probably what the game deserves, Jim. It brings that excitement and great attack by Ballymena.
Well, they were by far the two best sides in this competition right from the word go. When they played earlier in the season, Ballymena won the game in the non-competitive game at, if there is such a thing in schools rugby in Ulster, at Osborne Park. But Ince were fancy to win this one. They have a bit to do. Coleman, he doesn't miss that one. So what can you say about this one? We're into the second half of the first half here at Ravenhill, and it's honours even. It's RBAI 7 and Ballymena Academy 7.
Yeah, great game so far, Jim. As you said, both teams looking to play, both teams with the ambition to attack, not just kick or be negative, and it's been exciting so far.
Charlie O'Connor taking over the restart kicking duties. Gathered in by Ballymena and driven forward by Ballymena, and that's great work by the solid looking Matthew Wright, loose head prop. And there's his tight head prop, Dion Fleming, who's making a bit of ground as well. Two very solid Ballymena front row forwards. Penalty against Ince. I think that try might just have rattled them a wee bit.
Yeah, I think so, Jim. And then this is exactly what Ballymena wanted. It was a great carry from the kickoff, and then Ince just got a little bit over enthusiastic, giving away another penalty, which just now allows Robbie Coleman just to release the pressure and knock this into the Ince half. And Jim, just listen to this crowd. It's just, the atmosphere is unbelievable. Like, we don't hear this at the King's Band very often.
Well, this is one of the great crowds for a non-Ulster game. In fact, it's more than some of the Ulster games used to get in the not too distant past. I reckon there's about 8,000 people in here, which is terrific for a Schools Cup final.
It's fantastic as well, Jim, just for these guys. They'll remember these games forever now, and the atmosphere, and it's just brilliant with this pitch. Now hopefully more and more finals of subsidiary games and all sorts can be played, just to give the young players the experience.
Callum Mustoe for Ballymena Academy. He's asking Ballymena to move up to the mark and then just to retreat a wee bit, but they still have to leave a a metre apart. Well taken by Ballymena. Play on, says the referee. Musto has come round and has clasped it into his solid chest. Away by McElroy. Coleman. Good footwork by Ballymena's fullback, Sean McKay. First time he's got the ball in his paws. McElroy gets it away again. Here goes Musto. Nice stead step from the chunky hooker. McElroy sweeps it away. Nicely done by Ballymena. That was their second row. Joshua Gallagher was in the middle of it. And there's a little kick. It needs the bounce to be kind. Oh, and the bounce is kind. And what a very clever kick by Ballymena's scrum half, James McElroy.
Yeah, Jim, that's just fantastic game management by McElroy. We've seen it from him. We've seen it from Robbie Coleman. Quite often at schools level, players don't know when to do what. They'll just play until they lose or they'll kick too much. This Ballymena team's so well drilled. Their game management's excellent, so credit to John Nicklon and all the other coaches involved.
Yeah, McElroy hoping to go to Queen's to study mechanical engineering. Well, he's got that precisely. Good take though by Ince from the defensive lineout. Ince have made ground, but they presented the ball for scrum half Callum Soper, who doesn't have the room to kick by himself. Now he does. No, gives it back. And that's a very good clearance kick by Ince. My word, what a strike.
Yeah, with Joshua Gibson there with his left foot. Ince used him a lot in the semi-final as well. He's a tall fullback, long limbs, and has a great ability to hit the ball long. Obviously Ince playing with a little bit of a wind, so he's making the most of that. Great strike.
More than decent bit of ground made, but Ballymena have the throw. We've played 21 minutes. It's 7 apiece. What a good final this is. Last year's Campbell Ince final was a cracker, particularly the way it finished. But this is probably even better. Stolen by Ince. Well done. Play on, says the referee. Now what are Ince going to do? They were caught a little bit flat-footed. Here comes the captain. Down and up again. Was he held? The referee says he was held, and he made a second movement. And he's going to have a wee word with the referee, Fraser Cunningham, the Ince skipper. Desperate to do well for his team, of course, Ian, and you can't blame him.
No, absolutely not. And those are the ones that are a very split-second decision, whether the tackle was committed or he probably felt that he had just been released just before he went down, knee down. So one of the 50-50 ones, and great to see on our screens Al O'Connor and Andy Warwick, Jim, who've been helping out at the Academy this year.
Andy Warwick, a former Ballymena Academy player. Alan O'Connor, well, a Skerries man, but has been helping Ballymena all year. And the Alan O'Connor's significant other is due to give birth at any time now, so he's not going to go to South Africa with Ulster, whereas Andy Warwick is. Again, Ballymena inside the Ince 22, and again it's Musto. It's being told to observe the space. That's nicely taken. Oh, cleverly worked by Ballymena, caught and brought down. And the impetus was there before the ball came down, and they're thundering forward. And this is great stuff by the boys from Ballymena. And Ince have to be on their merit here. And this is a great drive by Ballymena. They're very close. It's been brought down. Don't think Chris Busby's thinking about a penalty try or even a penalty at this stage. McElroy wheeks it out, gets it to his skipper, Michael McLean, off his left wing. Still there for Ballymena. Good thundering drive once again by number 8 Charlie Hargy, only in 5th form, a broth of a boy. And again it's Ballymena coming forward, and again it's Conan Scullion, and again it's McElroy, a little juke round the open side, and he's done well to get it down. Now they need somebody to take the ball on, and Hargy picks it up, and Hargy goes. Good defending by Ince player almost getting in the way. McElroy's a chance now if they can shift this. It's Rhys Williamson, methinks, going forward. Here comes McElroy again. Coleman checks. Daniel Verco-Rogers waits. Now they bring it away again. Referee's given a penalty against RBAI as Conan Scullion makes a bit of ground for Ballymena. He's seen quite enough. No advantage coming from the offence. Little tap and go by Ballymena. Oh, well read by Ince, and that probably should have steadied themselves there a bit. But Ballymena still going forward. Picked up by Musto. Are they over the line? Not quite. There's an Ince man in the way. But it does come back. Pick up and drive. Ballymena pushing for a second try. Good positional play by the Referee, I know that was spilled forward, but the referee, I think, has given it, saying that the ball was touched down before possession was lost, and Ince have got a second try. And his tight head prop, Dion Fleming, I do believe, has got it done.
Yeah, great work with Ballymena. And it's just that attitude to tap and go, to build the intensity, to build the tempo. Obviously, Ballymena have come in with the ambition of moving this Ince team around. It is just, they're not going into their shells, the biggest game of their school careers, but yet they're still enjoying themselves. They're still having a crack. And that's a very close and well done by Fleming there to get the ball down, whereas under huge pressure.
Well, he did really well, the tight head prop in his third year on the side. And that's put Ballymena into the lead for the very first time with under 10 minutes to go to the interval. It's been non-stop, hasn't it?
It has. It's the ambition to keep playing. Neither team are slowing the game down. Neither team are just kicking it aimlessly or mauling aimlessly. Both teams playing with huge ambition, and actually probably, Jim, perhaps it's the pitch, but probably the most accurate of all the teams we've seen over the last number of years.
And Robbie Coleman, having this with a very straightforward penalty, makes no mistake with the second conversion of Ballymena's second try. And with about 8 minutes to go to the interval, maybe a wee bit more, it's Ince 7 and Ballymena 14.
Yeah, we're going to see Ince are going to have to start trying to move it around again, and they're going to be looking to try and get the likes of Fraser Cunningham on the ball, Joshua Gibson in these wide channels.
Ballymena first won the cup way back in 1972. The three big Belfast schools have dominated this competition. Between them, Methody, Ince and Campbell have won the competition 94 times. All the others put together have won it 42. Ince bidding for victory number 34. James Clark throws, well taken. Soper gets it away. Cunningham, very strong. Lovely pass by O'Connor, still there for Ince across the Ballymena 10-metre line. Ince could be doing with a score before the interval. Great tackling by Ballymena. Haven't managed to turn that one over though. Here's O'Connor again at outside half, and Cunningham using that fend off. Referee's happy that it was illegal. O'Connor, clever little dink through. Ballymena will just let that go over the line, and it's going to be a goal line dropout, so Ince will get the chance to retrieve the ball and counter-attack.
Yeah, again, great defence by Ballymena. Ince going through the phase, and then just a sensible option by Ince, just putting the ball in, trying to turn Ballymena's defence, knowing that if the ball goes in the dead ball area, it's a goal line dropout, and they're going to get another chance to attack.
Robbie Coleman. This has gone from Goyleport Rush, lucky boy. That's kept in. Now, chance for Ince to counter. Is there a wee bit of a gap down that blind side? On the other side of the pitch from our comedy position? Not so. Well away by Ince, still moving forward. It's gone backward, referee happy enough. Charlie O'Connor. His older brother's on the bench. Great scragging there by Ballymena Academy. Ince attacks being met head on and by and large repulsed. They've got to think of something else now. This is better stuff. Well, that is good by Ince. Now they've got the ball away. Here's Cunningham, the skipper. That's a good pass. Great chance now this for Ince. Out it goes wide. Here they come again. Ballymena cover well. Alex Place, the Place kicker, is well tackled. James Clark for the Ballymena line. Sets it up well. Soper whips it away. Good driving forward by the Ince front row. They're very close. An arm stretch would just about do it. Soper pops it up once again. And it's Boyd, the number 8, as his brother did last year, from a lot closer range. And for the second year in a row, there's a Boyd has got the touchdown.
Yeah, great play by Ince, Jim. All it took was one broken tackle just out inside the 22, and then the momentum kicked in. Ince looked after the ball really well. Great recycling, great ruck clean out, and again just the pressure. And when you have the likes of an Adam Boyd picking and going from a yard or two out, getting the opportunity, he uses strength and does very well. Ballymena will be a little bit disappointed that they managed to concede that whenever they hit him a metre or so away from the line, but great strength by Boyd, reaching out, knowing where the line was, and an excellent finish.
Yeah, perfect stretch, and the paw came out and the ball was pushed down, and that's the equalising try. But the conversion is to come to tie it all up at 14 apiece. And what a first half this has been. Gosh, you'd nearly pay money to be here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's been brilliant, Jim, and it's just, I think it shows the quality of coaching and the sort of ambition that the players have. They know the rules so well, but again, just to repeat myself, it's the accuracy of the pass. I don't think we've had many knock-ons today. There hasn't been many scrums, so we've been able to get phase after phase with pressure building.
That's a good strike by Alex Place, and we are tied on 14 apiece with about 5 minutes to go to the interval. What a final.
It's been brilliant. I think Place will be delighted with that strike. That just shows more confidence after his missed penalty earlier on. So Ballymena now 5 minutes to go, playing into the wind slightly. We'll be trying just to make sure if they can get a score before half time, ideal, but just to make sure they don't concede any more points.
Well, I'll be interested to chat to them afterwards, but I think they're really enjoying playing this final on this brand new pitch. They played their semi, of course. That's a very good tackle on the end. Skipper Fraser Cunningham, but strong man that he is, he's made the ball available. Charlie O'Connor's got himself in the middle of all that. Lachlan Sweeney was helping, and into touch it goes, and Instead have managed to clear their lines, but it's a Ballymena throw, and there's still time for the Braid men to do something here before the interval, Ian.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of their plays based off their maul, so line out so far has been very good. I'd imagine they might go to the maul again, whether there's a breakout play or they're just going to try and eke out a penalty to then drive further in the 22. But yeah, accuracy has been excellent from both sides, and Ballymena will be looking just to try and strike here just before half time.
Dion Fleming has a word with his hooker Callum Musto. That's a great take, a great throw. Ballymena have got it in there. Musto has come round, but there's somebody in front of him who's got the ball, so he's just doing a bit of backing up there. Matthew Wright, the loose head prop, is there too. Away comes McElroy. Hence need to make the first up tackles. Ballymena have recycled that nicely. Wonderful individual and unit skills by the Ballymena boys. Here's McElroy again. Ince having to defend. They've been pushed onto the back foot. Ballymena might even settle for a penalty here. Ince counter-rucking pretty successfully. Matthew Wright, the loose head, still there. That's cleverly done by Ballymena. Good run by Rhys Williamson, the open side flanker. In quickly is McElroy. What a good game he's having. Joshua Gallagher, the Ballymena second row, takes it on. McElroy again. Coleman, good little flat pass. Ballymena attacking. The continuity is wonderful, and the handling skills level is very good. Here's the try scorer for Ballymena, the first try scorer. That's a wee bit loose. Now it's the captain, Michael McLean, who's a big unit, gets across the 22. Good presentation by the skipper. Ballymena's tight forwards, look at them, numbers 1, 2 and 4 all in there. McElroy back in field, cleverly done. Strength in abundance by Ben Neely, who, given half a chance, can run the length of the field. Somebody split their shorts. They'll have to get that sorted out at the interval, but at the moment they won't be too bothered. McElroy once again, and Ballymena have kept this going, phase after phase after phase. Almost lost count. Here they come again. That's a bit loopy, but Coleman gets it. Tackle by Charlie O'Connor. McElroy again. Sensational game of rugby, and Ballymena have got their penalty. They'll be looking for a bit more. McElroy very nearly slipped, but very nearly got through. Still got the penalty advantage as Harry Lamont takes it on for the academy. Pushed it back. McElroy still advantage. Little chip and chase, and the ball has gone loose, and Cunningham goes down, and he's jumped upon by Daniel Verco Rogers, and the penalty eventually has been given. What a passage of play in.
Yeah, again, Jim, just credit to Ballymena for getting through the phases, credit for Ince for such a good defence and only giving away that one penalty. So interesting call for Ballymena with their maul. You would imagine they go in the corner, but I think it's just the composure under pressure, Jim. Players very rarely choosing the wrong option, very rarely throwing the ball away under pressure, and I think that's what's so impressive from both sides. Discipline and accuracy so far in this half, and it'd be a great way to end the half for Ballymena if they could just get over them all here.
Robbie Coleman is really fired up for this one, having a wee word with his outside backs. But if Ballymena can secure the ball from the line-out throw, which is going to be taken by Callum Mustoe, I do believe they'll hang on to it and try to drive Ince over the line. Into the final minute, it was been a pulsating first half in this final. Oh, Ince pinched it. Well away by Soper. Crossfield kick. Looking for McLean, the captain, and again Ince take it. And Ince have done the sensible thing and have got it away, and it's bounced into touch. And right on cue, the referee, who's I'm sure enjoyed himself, Chris Busby, blows the whistle for half-time, and it couldn't be finer poised. 14 apiece. What a game of football in this final, Ian Humphreys.
Fantastic game, Jim. We've seen everything. We've seen good maul, we've seen good line breaks, great defence, and Ballymena will be disappointed with the first line-out lost being that one on the 5 metre line just before half-time. But I think the accuracy, the ambition to play, both teams neither seem to be nervous, neither seem to be worried or overcome by the occasion. I think part of that probably is the fact that these are the two teams and basically the same players that played in the Under-16s Cup 2 years ago after COVID they cancelled the Medallion Shield. So it's just the fact that coaches have obviously given them licence. Go out there and enjoy yourself, go out there and try and play, don't hold anything back. And I think that as fans is what has been so exciting to watch, that the teams have gone out there and really given it a good crack.
The organisation and the technical level that the Ballymena Academy pack are playing at is quite exemplary.
Yeah, throughout the years Ballymena's pack's always been the strength. They've always been well drilled, the line-out's been very well organised, and I think we've seen there, as we saw on screen earlier, Alan O'Connor and Andy Warwick have made a huge influence in there, and credit to John Nicholl for bringing the guys in from the outside and not worrying too much about trying to do it all himself.
There you are. Intercept try by James Kerr for Ince. Back came the Academy, Daniel Verco-Rogers. An equalising try, Dion Fleming put Academy ahead, and then Adam Boyd, brother of last year's cup-winning captain, got a try, a second try for Ince. It's finally poised, finally balanced, still in the balance. It's Ince 14 and Ballymena Academy 14.
Johnny Bell, what a first half of rugby.
Oh, it's been magnificent, real quality across the board. Cagey start, both teams trying to sort of work themselves out. Defence dominating. I mean, really excellent quality of defence. As a defence coach, I can admire the quality of their shape that they're keeping, their line speed, their double tackles, and the quality of their low chop tackle, getting big men on the ground. So both teams really excellent, and that actually led to that first try. Ince keeping their shape with a barrage from Ballymena, and then James Kerr, a loose pass, and he picks up an intercept. So really, really good quality.
Yeah, the standard seems to go up every year, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's been excellent, and as the game's worn on, you can see Ballymena, big forward carries, Mustoe very dominant, just looking to try and, well, there's that intercept, real quality, look, just in the right place, able to pick that ball off, and then just the pace to get away. So again, on the back of excellent defence, keeping their shape. You can see Ballymena just trying to get into that wide channel, and the winger in the perfect spot just to pick that pass off. Ballymena will be disappointed with that, though.
Yeah, he even had time to wave to the fans on the way through. But Ballymena responded really well. That was a tough start for them, but you know, they had to really dig deep in terms of character, because it looked like it could have got away almost after that try.
Well, that's the measure of them, their ability to come back, and you can see how delighted the Ince boys are. But again, Ballymena just get themselves back early doors at that stage. So the Ballymena pack then came into the fore. Ince gave away some penalties, allowed Ballymena then to get that forward orientated power. Lamont, Williamson's, Hargey, Mustoe, all those big dominant carries, eventually getting them into position, and then a great try by Ballymena. I think Daniel Verco-Rogers getting a lovely line and just breaking through. Real quality try there, good line.
Like young Johnny Bell, eh?
Oh, I think he's in a lot better shape than I ever was. But again, just good footwork, dominating the gain line, and then just looking to get into that space. Again, 2 Ince tacklers just missed that one from what has been real quality D. So again, Ballymena then back in touch again, and the game's all square.
And conditions here are pretty wet, pretty miserable. The pitch helps, but in previous years you might have seen the ball going down and mistakes. It hasn't happened. The rugby's been class.
Well, we were just talking up in the stand. We're watching just the quality, their execution, their decision making. You know, you can see Ince trying to push the ball into those wider channels, trying to find space that the Ballymena have dealt with pretty well. But I'd imagine Al O'Connor was out this morning doing his little naked rain dance, so he'll be delighted, as will big Andrew Warwick, as the rain comes down. Those tight forwards delighted to see a bit of rain.
What a horrible image. Let's take a look at that second Ballymena try.
Yeah, again, this came on the back of an infringement by Ince, and then just giving Ballymena that territorial advantage. And then it's those close quarter tries. Big men. These Ballymena men are strong, they're powerful, and you get that close to the line and they're just not going to fail. So Dion Fleming gets over, again, delighted. Loose head prop, or sorry, that's a tight head prop. We'd be saying that was from about 10 metres out by the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's when Ince had to really dig in, and they did, came back into it.
Yeah, again, it's been nip and tuck, and it's been where you get territory, can you capitalise? And again, this period here, good Ince pressure, and again, I think it's Adam Boyd here. Good forward carries leading up to this, just continuing just to keep ball, and then he gets over the line. You give big men like this that time and that space that close to the line, you're going to hurt them.
Yeah, so much to squeeze in that first half. We're ready for the second. We'll hand you back to Ian and Jim.
None of this old nonsense about going in and having cups of warm tea or something like the professionals. These boys are real rugby players. They don't even get an orange anymore. They got a quick turnaround and they're back into it. So 35 minutes to go. Who's going to win this one? Is it going to be Ince for the 34th time or Ballymena Academy for the 3rd time? It's all to play for, and it's going to be Ballymena's outside half. Robbie Coleman is going to get this second half underway. Ready to go is the referee, Chris Busby. We're ready to go up here in the comedy position, and away we go. And Robbie Coleman pops it into the Ince 22, where it's taken in by the Ince skipper, who's a very strong runner, Fraser Cunningham. Now, Ince going to keep the ball going. Good driving by the tight head prop, Blake McLean, who was a loose head prop last year, and has got another year on the first 15, so he's a very phenomenally strong prop forward. That's a clever kick by Daniel Soberwin, holding it up a wee bit. Gone loose, but pulled in by Ballymena. And that's good work by Sean McKay, the full back, who's pushed back into his own half. McElroy, the scrum half, taken up by Hargy, the number 8, who's a fair old piece of work. He's a shot putter by trade as well. Back on the Ballymena side, James McElroy for distance. It's a very clever kick. Well taken by Ince, and well taken by Josh Gibson's counterpart, Sean McKay. Ince will want to get themselves back onto the board in terms of scoring as quickly as they possibly can. They've got men out here. It's good work by James Clark, the flanker. Ballymena not committing too many men to the breakdown, allowing enough men to stand wide and take on the Ince men who are driving around the flanks. Soper has to kick longish. Taken in by McKay. Good work by Ballymena's full-back. Nice presentation. First up, Ince defending is good. Maybe a wee chance here in this near side, and here comes McKay back in field. That's nicely done. This is Daniel Verco Rogers, the man who got the Ballymena first try. Musto, the hooker. Good ground made by the sturdy boy. And again, Ballymena, they are so proficient with the ball in hand, the forward. There's a little dummy and go by Verco Rogers, very nearly made it again. Coleman grips it away. They've moved across the field, but Ballymena still have possession. Enthusiastic tackle there by Fraser Cunningham, the Ince skipper, and suspiciously offside. Referee seemed to be happy enough. Don't think this touch judge has brought anything to his attention. So play on. Again, Ballymena keeping the ball. That's a clever kick by McElroy. And the fair catch on what used to be the mark in old times. and Ince get a chance to clear their lines. But if it does go into touch, it's going to be a Ballymena throw-in.
Yeah, I think we've seen a snapshot of how this second half's potentially going to play out. Playing with the wind, Ballymena are going to try and play territory, whether that's by kicking long or those contestable kicks by James McElroy. They know that with the likes of Ben Neely and Sean McKay, they're both excellent under the high ball, and they're going to try and put pressure on Joshua Gibson. There was a massive hit by McKay and Gibson earlier, and Ince did well to recover. So Ballymena are just going to try and play the pressure game, certainly at the start of the second half, try and force Ince into making mistakes and giving them an opportunity to make the next score.
Alan Musto, who is a member of the 15. A lot of them are playing here that won the under 16 cup a couple of seasons ago. Now an upper 6 in the academy. Gone loose. Oh, well picked up by Ince. Nicely presented. Silver gets it away. This is big Adam Boyd. He's only 5th year, remember. 2 more years. Might think about moving into the front row like his brother. That's gone wide. James Kerr, the intercept try scorer from the first half, has managed to stay in field, and he's done really well. Soper gets it flat. Ince turn now to do some forward driving. Charlie O'Connor standing in 10. It's taken on by Zach Molyneux. Better stuff this from Ince. O'Connor under a wee bit of pressure, but he did get it away. Ballymena have got back into Ince territory, but the holders have the ball. Soper. Good work by the Ince tight forwards. Shaping up the kick down the far touchline. And he does just that. That's held up quite nicely for Ince. Ballymena gathered in. McElroy's been so busy today. And again, the Ballymena forwards make a bit of ground. Wonderful low body positions, parallel, backs parallel to the ground. Scattering Ince men before them. McElroy again. Spilled forward. And I think there was interference in the air, so Ince get the penalty and a chance to get back into the Ballymena half. Well, the pace hasn't slackened at all, Ian, has it?
No, it hasn't at all, Jim. There's been one or two sort of mistakes, maybe from the bit of rain that's come in, make the ball greasy. That's the one thing in a 3G pitch, when you get the black rubber on the ball with a little bit of rain, it becomes very greasy. But again, as you said, both teams trying to play. Ballymena unlucky. There's another good kick by McElroy. It was contestable, and unfortunately Ballymena second to arrive. Obviously duty of care. And that just gives Ince this penalty now to have an opportunity to try and drive it down the line by Joshua Gibson.
Josh Gibson tends to take most of the kicks that require a left-footed kicker. Hasn't made a huge amount of ground, but it's safely into touch, and instead they have the line out. About 6 minutes gone in the second half. The score as it was at the interval, 14-all, 2 tries and 2 conversions apiece. Wind blowing in Ballymena's favour as Ince throw. James Clark. Soper gets it away. Coleman, better stuff by Ince. Oh, Cunningham gets across the halfway line but has to go to ground. Here comes Ince again. Charlie O'Connor, nicely done. This is good stuff by Ince. Out to James Kerr, the left wing. They do a wee bit of help there, and the referee has pinged Ince for infringing at the breakdown, and Alexander Carson is well pleased with himself.
Yeah, he is indeed, and that's a great turnover by Carson. Virgo Rogers with the tackle. Ince got a little bit isolated, and an opportunity now for Ballymena to relieve a bit of pressure, because definitely Ince you felt they were gaining a little bit of momentum there. They were winning a few collisions, they were breaking a few tackles, so this can just be a little bit of a turning point for Ballymena now to drive down the line, and hasn't made touch, unfortunately, for Ballymena.
Well, Robbie Coleman just overcooked that a little bit. He needed that to go into touch. He went for distance rather than accuracy.
Yeah, as a right footer close to that touchline, just hit a little bit of a draw, unfortunately, but with the goal line drop out into the wind, Ballymena will still hope to be getting an opportunity to launch an attack not far outside the 22.
Hasn't done very much wrong today, Robbie Coleman. In fact, he's been excellent. Charlie O'Connor with the restart kick. He's popped that into the middle of the field now for Ballymena to gather in. And here goes Hargey, the number 8, and he's skipped past the first tackle. And he's got up to the Inns 22. Quick ball now by Ballymena. Loads of red and black shirts there. And on they come forward in the shape of loose head prop Matthew Wright. Ballymena to the far touchline. McElroy again. Ince defending has got to be spot on, and that's a good bit of counter-rucking there by Enston. All sorts of troubles there for James McElroy, who got swallowed up by a couple of boys in yellow and black. Coleman goes into scrum half. Musto, the hooker, takes it on. A little bit of help from a second row, Joshua Gallagher. McElroy again. Cohn and Scullion. Good defending once again. Alexander Carson makes ground. Here comes Charlie Hargey. And again, Ballymena judging the distance between players to perfection. And again, this is nicely done. Coleman gets it away. Back in field by Ballymena, and Ince, good defending, particularly there by Harry Lamont, who's won them a penalty. And they'll be pretty relieved about that, because from the restart they've hardly been out of their half.
Yeah, absolutely, as we talked about, with that wind making it difficult for Ince to exit. And that James Clark down, get a bit of treatment, made a good tackle on Charlie Hargey, who had gained a little bit of speed. But I think this is a very important turnover. I think it was potentially by Lorcan Donnelly, just to take the pressure off. Ballymena threw a few backs into that ruck, and unfortunately for Ballymena, Ince managed to come up with a turnover. So that's a huge turning point again, and we'll look for Joshua Gibson probably to try and knock this down into Ballymena's half.
Just made sure he found his touch. Didn't quite get into Ballymena's half, but as near as makes no difference. Coming up to 10 minutes gone in this second half.
5 or 6? 5.
If it's tied at the end of 70 minutes, then the cup will be shared. That was initiated way back in 1942 when Instant Pretoria Royal drew, and the two school principals agreed to have it for 6 months each. Charlie O'Connor will not want it to go that. He's a cousin of Niall O'Connor from Limavady Grammar School. He played for Ulster for quite a number of seasons and is now involved golf-wise with a certain Rory McIlroy. And then get another penalty at the breakdown.
Yeah, that's again another momentum bit for Ince here. They weren't really going anywhere, and Ballymena will be disappointed to have given away that penalty, because again it's easy access playing into the wind, Jim. It's against a really good defence. You're almost relying on them to make mistakes, to give away penalties, to give you this opportunity to get into deep into the half, and that's what Ince are doing. They're not putting together many intricate plays. They're just being accurate, they're being patient, and unfortunately for Ballymena, but positively for Ince, it's given them now the opportunity to get towards the 22.
It's my imagination, Ian, is it getting cold?
Yeah, it is. The rains come in, Jim. The wind's picked up slightly, and it's definitely the temperature's dropped. And I think potentially the energy's gone out of the stadium a wee bit.
Ince close to the Ballymena 22. That's well taken in and good driving. And the man who threw it in, James Clark, has come round. Ince driving forward. Ballymena's open side. Reese Williamson looking a little bit offside. Here come Ince round the corner. That's well rolled away when they've got it back. Soper. Ince keeping it tight. Ballymena digging in. Still there for Ince. Soper again. And still Ince taking it up through their forward pack. Well released. Ballymena have worked out this Ince method of attack quite well, and they're not letting them away with anything. Soper.
Don't throw it into him.
Referee says play on. Soper tries to get it away. Now he does. Here's Josh Gibson. Taken off at the ankles. Has he got it back? Yes, he has. Soper tries to move it wide. There's a wee half chance if Ince had moved that. Now they do move it. Under pressure. Referee has said play on. And it was knocked forward by Ballymena Academy on the ground, and it's going to be a scrum, and it's going to be an Ince scrum, and this is a very good position for Ince.
It is, Jim, and I think is this only the second scrum of the game, and I think that's credit to the standard of play from both teams. And also I think credit to Chris Busby, Jim. We can hear him in our comms here, how he's talking to the players. He's looking to let them play. He's kind of just helping them on the run. So I think that's part of what's led to such a good game as well, how well Chris has done. So Ince have got a scrum here. They'll be looking to try and launch one of their plays. You'd imagine they'll be trying to get the ball potentially out wide to Place or to Joshua Gibson here.
Well, an occasion like this, which is a wonderful occasion in the history of Ulster Rugby, and a money-making occasion too for rather beleaguered financially. Ulster Rugby deserves a very good referee. And Chris Busby, they've got a belter. Here come Ince again. Soper moves it wide. Chance now for Josh Gibson. Drives forward. Good defending by his opposite number, Sean McKay. Ince have recycled it. Milo Carter, number 5, went in to help that. Well, that's a clever little pop pass by Ince. Musto has to get out of the way, and he does. Soper, a little bit of width in that. Looks like there's a replacement on for Ince. I think somebody wearing number 16, who's Ross Dillon. Soper changes his direction. Good tackle on the Ince number 8. Ballymena Academy stripped the ball away from the Ince ball carrier, but then it was knocked forward, so Ince will get the scrum in a pretty decent position.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity to attack. Last scrum they went 8-9-15 as they did in the semi-final, which led to a try. And again here you're going to look at what kind of starter play. Talking to Andrew Maxwell yesterday, Jim, we saw him, we played against each other 24 years ago in this exact fixture, and he scored a try from the exact same scrum as a left winger coming in, so hopefully Ince don't try and run the same play.
I'm sure he was delighted to remind you about that. Ince scrum, in it goes. Thoughts about the narrow side. No, they've gone to the open side with Boyd. Pops it up to his captain, who's made some decent ground. Soper in again, well picked up by Ince. That looked like a knock forward, knock back, says the referee. And here come the Academy, and this is going to be a real foot race, and there's a lot of pace out there on the far side by the Academy's skipper McLean, and he may well have got the down, but no, he thinks he's got it. Well, what do you think, Ian Humphreys? What a moment it could be in this game. What a turn of pace by the Ballymena Academy skipper Michael McLean. Yeah. Knocked forward over the line. No TMO, but he consulted with his touch judge on the far side, and it was knocked forward and Ince off the hook.
Yeah, massively. From up here live, Jim, I'm sure we'll see a replay. It did look like a knock-on, just miscommunication between Virgo Rogers and it was Michael McLean, sorry. But this is massive now for Ballymena, putting Ince under pressure. It's going to be hard, and we feel the wind picking up as our notes blow away. It's going to be harder for Ince to now try and exit from here, and as long as Ballymena keep their discipline, they're going to have an opportunity now to try and put Ince under huge pressure.
Most important scrum of the game. We've only had 2 so far, I do believe. Ince right on their own line. Big squeeze by Ballymena. Ince really dig in, and they've done well. Oh, and the spill forward by Ince, and as Ballymena will get the put into the scrum. It was the Ince skipper, I think Cunningham, tried to take it forward and spilled it in the tackle, and Ballymena's tackling has been pretty good all day.
Yeah, it's been excellent. I think that's sort of one of the highlights for me today, Jim, is the tackle technique of so many of these young lads. We talk about the high tackle. Here we're seeing the replay of just as Ballymena go to pick it up, each other Ballymena players take each other out, and that's very disappointing for them. It could have been an easy try there for Michael McLean.
Yeah, they were just over anxious to get the touchdown between them, and neither managed to get it. But there's a great chance here now for Ballymena. Will we see Charlie Hargy pick up and drive? Ballymena have made a change at loose head prop. Henry Casson coming on. And can he add that little bit of extra beef and squeeze? Huge scrum this. McElroy pops it in. Charlie Hargy picks up and goes himself. Hargy hauled down 5 metres from the line. McAvoy again. This is great stuff by the Academy. Good defending by Ince. Harry Lamont's in the middle of all that. Fraser Cunningham gets himself out of it. Here go the academy. Just an arm length. Loose head prop. Matthew Wright is there. Well presented. McElroy looking for a runner. Gets it from the replacement prop. Henry Casson. The referee has given a penalty to Ince. Great defending, and in particular by replacement hooker Ross Dillon.
Yeah, disappointing for Ballymena. There was an opportunity. Obviously, I think just either held up over the line, or double movement, or whether it was just Ince got in on the poach. So we would have expected Ballymena potentially to be like a bit more accurate and patient, but unfortunately for them, it was just a turnover. But a good carry by Casson, just got a little bit isolated, and it was a very good turnover then by Ince, and gives them an opportunity now to take the ball away and relieve a bit of pressure, and then try and get up the other end of the pitch again.
Yeah, it was great work by Ross Dillon. Got the feet spread wide and went in, and his hands didn't touch the ground, which you're not allowed to do. His hands went straight for the ball and secured the ball and secured the penalty. But Ince, if they're going to win this game, have a long way to go.
They do, and we saw how quickly with this wind and obviously the speed of the Ballymena backs, how quickly the pitch can be flipped. But we're coming down into the last sort of 20 minutes, Jim. This is annually where we see the cramps starting to kick in, the nerves starting to kick in, and you hope that the players that you always hope these games are won by a moment of magic like Jacob Boyd's last year, as opposed to anything else. And we don't really want to see a shared trophy. Hopefully somebody can come up with something to turn the game and get that match-winning score.
Well, Ince have shared the trophy on no fewer than 4 occasions. The last time I think they were captained by a gentleman called John Birch, who went on to play his club rugby for Ballymena. He played for Ulster, and he played in 2 tests for Ireland against Argentina in 1970, and a year or so ago, or less than a year or so ago, he was awarded a retrospective Irish cap, as were a number of players, including another Ballymena man, Rob Brady, who played for Ireland against Fiji.
Number 6 or 16.
We're not worried about a draw at the moment. And that's a very good kick in difficult conditions by Ince. Josh Gibson, the full-back. And Ince, because it was a full penalty, have got themselves the line out, but they're still pretty deep in their own territory. The touch edges flag, as you can see below us, is waving about a little bit. Still James Clark to throw the ball in. Hooker last year, flanker this. That's a good throw and a good take by Ince. That's very efficiently done. And here they come. Here comes Clark. Spins through the first tackle. Needs to present the ball. He does that. Sober takes it to the narrow side.
Stay outside 5. And use it!
There's that, what they call the caterpillar by Ince. Sober with the kick. That's going to hang nicely for Ince. Chasers. Well taken by Ince. Charlie O'Connor missed out.
Okay, away 6.
James Clark up to the 10-metre line of Ballymena. Ince into the opposition half for the first time in ages. Good work by Blake McLean, the tight head. Charlie Gray, O'Connor, nice pass, gone loose. Didn't need to do that, and still have it. Up to the halfway line. And Ballymena penalised, and a chance for Ince to make a little bit of territory as we move into the closing stages in.
Yeah, just unfortunate, a bit of a high shot, I think a bit of over exuberance, just as Ballymena saw the opportunity of a loose ball to go through and put pressure on. I think one of the tacklers just slid up in there. Joshua Gibson has just put in a brilliant touch finder, Jim, off that penalty. So giving Ince great free
what
position.
A strike by Josh Gibson. There were 2 Ballymena men went back, and you thought that one of them might get it. Well, as it turned out, neither got it, and it was a penalty anyway. And this was good work by the opening try scorer, James Kerr. There was that high tackle, a little bit over enthusiastic by Ballymena, and what a kick by Josh Gibson. This could well be the most important set piece of the game so far, Ian.
Yeah, definitely. Imagine Ince will go into their maul with the breakout set up as well, trying to put pressure on Ballymena here.
James Clark with the throw. Play on, says the referee. Clark gets in behind it now. He's tucked the ball in. Can he slingshot himself off? And Minster driving forward. They're getting closer. They're only about 5 or 6 metres away. Can they hold it in? It's Boyd the younger takes it on. Good defending by Ballymena. Ince have made a bit of ground, but there's not enough people there to get the ball back. Penalty advantage, says the referee. Adam Boyd does it again. Whipped away quickly. Fraser Cunningham. Slippery, wet ball, and there's a penalty going to be against Ballymena. What would you do here? It's pretty far from the post, so they might just go into the corner.
Yeah, I would imagine so, especially with schoolboy rugby, the scrum, you can't go for the pushover even with dominance. So you'd imagine, unless they've got a trick play, which from sort of 7-8 metres is probably too far out, Jim, all you can imagine is they're going to go to the corner and try and slip another maul. It was a great setup there, and it just Ballymena had to give away the penalty to slow it down, unfortunately.
Pass wasn't all that sympathetic for the Ince skipper Fraser Cunningham, who's played at international schoolboy level, one of a number of representative players from both sides. They really have been the two outstanding teams thus far, and we still have to wait to see who's going to be the one that comes through as the cup winner. Ballymena have brought on Mark Glenn, wearing number 21. And here's another change in the Ballymena front row. Replacement hooker Joshua Harvey is on. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. So Callum Musto, who's had 3 good seasons in the Ballymena first 15, leaves the field, and Ince have kicked it into touch, and a great chance now for Ince to do something with this. One score will win this game, I believe, in.
Yeah, I think, Jim, we're getting to that point of the game where certainly it'll be hugely influential. And again, I don't see them going away from their maul here. So good the last one, they'll be just looking to try and make a clean catch and get well set up.
James Clark with the ball for Ince. Swept out of the air, nicely done. Now can they settle themselves and drive again? In goes Lorcan Donnelly, and away go Ince. And as James Clark, his fellow flanker, helps to set it up. Good work by Ince, still going forward. Back they come. Wonderful little trundle by big Blake McLean. Here come Ince again. Clark held up 2 meters away. Captain again is pretty close. An arm stretch will do it. Ballymena digging in. Ballymena hoping that Ince will make a mistake. Ince pick up and drive yet again, looking for a second one. Boyd again, I do believe. Tight head prop Blake McLean is there too. Ince putting everything into this. Replacement hooker, very close, and he's got it. It's on the line. The referee, you can hear him say it's on the line, and Ross Dillon has got over for the 3rd try for Ince and puts them back in the lead again.
Yeah, great discipline and patience by Ince. Obviously the maul was well repelled, well defended by Ballymena, but then they just broke out and just went phase, and that's been a second massive intervention by Ross Dillon after his turnover earlier in the game, Jim. So credit to Ince. They showed great composure and great accuracy to keep going through those phases. That on the try line you just see Ballymena putting tackle after tackle, and then just Dillon there manages to get over the line under huge pressure.
Well, we've seen many other senior sides here at Ravenhill not able to cope with conditions like this, but these schoolboys, both sets of schoolboys, have been outstanding.
They have been, and it's not just been a lack of ambition either. They've all been trying to play their fancy plays out the back. They've been tipping on, they've been picking and going, but it's the accuracy. They're not just flopping over the rucks as they're cleaning out either. Both teams have been competing at ruck time, so it hasn't been easy ball either. So great ambition from both sides and great accuracy as well.
Running on with the kicking tee, incidentally, is Will Addison, who's off tomorrow with the Ulster squad to South Africa.
No problem, thanks.
And leaving Ulster at the end of the season, I do believe, in returning to Sale from whence he came. Injury didn't sort of allow him to perhaps play the role in Ulster that he would have wanted and we would have wanted. But a nicer chap you couldn't meet, and we wish him the very best from this season onward. There's the strike, and there's a good kick. What a belter that was from the Ince swing 3/4. Alex Place, so the try converted, I should say, and Ince now leading by 21 points to 14.
Yeah, huge conversion as well, just to take that 7 points. That makes it even more difficult for Ballymena. So with 13 minutes to go, Ballymena really need to strike back and strike quite quickly.
Ball spilled forward by Enns, giving Ballymena the chance to make a little bit of ground again. Henry Casson, the tight head prop, took it forward. This is better stuff by the Ballymena boys. Coleman, little flat pass. Oh, very close to a breakthrough there. And Ballymena have put a little bit of extra pace in this, and now they've put a bit of width on it as well. Oh, wonderful stuff by Ballymena across the ends 22, and it's been spilled forward and gathered in by Charlie Gray, who's in lower six, to be back again next year. And that has found touch, and that's a mighty big relief for Inston. I think there's a cramp down from the part of Charlie Gray. Nothing too serious, I don't think.
No, good carry by Ben Neely, and just unfortunately the ball squirmed out in that last tackle. And then that was an excellent clearance by I think, was it Callum Super, Jim, from the base of the ruck. To manage to get the 10 metre line into the wind is no mean feat. So great clearance by Ince. And it was a good attempt by Ballymena. You just saw the momentum building, but again, defence by Ince, and just unfortunately for Ballymena, the ball just squirmed out of the tackle.
Yeah, I haven't really seen very much of Ben Neely, who's a pretty speedy wing three-quarter.
No, it's been difficult. The Ince's rush defence has meant that Ballymena haven't been able to get it into those outside channels. Really, we haven't seen much of Ben Neely or Michael McLean in the wider channels, unfortunately, just yet.
Ballymena with the throw. They need to come back, and don't be surprised if they do. It's gone loose, gathered in by Ince by Clark. Wild pass with Charlie O'Connor. That's a nice pass by O'Connor. Here come Ince. Great chance here for left wing three-quarter James Kerr, scorer of the first try, albeit by an intercept. Ince on the front foot. James Clark again. Good defending by Ballymena in the middle of the park, coming up to an hour played, and after that there's only 10 minutes, 35 minutes each way in Schools Rugby. O'Connor, little pop pass, clever player. Wonderful Ballymena defending, and pushed back 10 metres. Now they're taking it on. O'Connor again has a go himself. Spilled the ball forward, play on, says the referee. Back in the Ballymena side, McElroy to Coleman. Bounces kind. Ince on the counter. Ballymena on the defending. Great rucking by Ince. Ball presented beautifully for scrum half Callum Soper. It's coming down nastily, and there's a foot and touch there, and what a kick by Soper, and a little bit of a fumble there, a little bit of a stagger by Ballymena, and Ince get the throw into the line out, and a great chance now to put this game to bed in.
Yeah, another brilliant kick by Soper. That's just on the money, and unfortunately for Coleman, as he tried to take a little bit of a stumble, a foot into touch. So the accuracy now from Ince is just probably giving them the edge, Jim. Whether that's the carries into contact, whether it's the kicking game there as well by Callum Soper, and then just Ince, all they need to do from here is just win this line out, get them all going, and just try and suck the life out of the rest of the game.
Ince win the line out close to Ballymena's 22, and a little sortie round the narrow side. Clever bit of play by the holders, and not so clever in terms of getting it back, and Ballymena will get the put into the scrum. 9 minutes remaining.
So this is the state in the game, Jim. 10 minutes to go, cup final. What's the one play that Ballymena have been hiding all season for this moment? And it's who do they believe their best strike runner? Is it trying to get Virgo Rogers on the outside break? Is it bringing in Sean McKay or bringing in a blind winger? They need to do something here. They need to try and go the length, and not just try and hold back too much longer.
I don't want you to stop talking, but I want you to start thinking about your choice of player of the Schools Cup final. That's entirely been sprung on you, as it was sprung on me, but never mind, nothing you can't cope with. We have got just a handful of minutes to go. 62 minutes we've almost played. Referee's blown the whistle and he's given the scrum to Ince, and this in a pretty decent place. Ballymena have made a change. Ruben Allen has come on, and Ince have made a change as well. They've replaced scrum half Callum Soper.
Okay, left weight going across on bound, okay? Let's go. Yeah, it's an scrum. Yeah.
And Luke Gibson has come on. There's Gibson wearing number 21 on the near side of the scrum. James Clark, who's been excellent. Let's have the all. Good strike by Ince. Nicely away. Charlie O'Connor. Little flat pass. Ince trying to take the ball up the middle and giving away the penalty, and Ballymena will be pleased with that, and you can see that Ballymena reaction. Chance now to clear their lines.
Yeah, massive turnover in midfield. I think it was Ben Neely managed to go over the ball. Great kick here by Robbie Coleman, Jim. These are the moments now. 7 minutes to go. This is where you really have to push the boat out. So massively important. Ballymena can win this line out to try and force their next set play and just try and get the score in the game to even it up.
Well, at this stage last year between Campbell and Ince, it suddenly became 17-all, and we thought, is anybody going to win this? And eventually Campbell made the error that allowed Ince to win the game, and Ince will not want to repeat that or do that themselves this year. Chance now for Ballymena, still inside their own half. Rain coming tootling down here at Ravenhill. Colin Scullion at the back, but it's well taken in by Ballymena's open side. Reece Williamson, and Ballymena moving forward, and digging in on halfway.
One stop.
Blake McLean on the near side. Here come Ballymena looking for a bit of a gap, very nearly finding one through the skipper, Michael McLean, who's been a terrific captain for this side. Again, the Ballymena pack churned forward, and again the halfbacks get it away. And again, Ince defends starkly. Captain Cunningham gets himself out of it. This is a half chance for, very nearly another interception. Ball was knocked forward by Ince, and Ballymena will get the put into the scrummage. 6 minutes to go in.
Yeah, you just see them trying to force the pass, and it looked again whether Ince were going to manage to get another intercept, but Ballymena just trying to get the pressure. Unfortunately for them, the clock's really against them. The ticking away, these set plays are going to suit Ince. The clock's going to keep ticking on. Saying that, it seems to have stopped for some reason on our screens, but just running down the time now. It's up for Ince is just to make sure they put Ballymena under pressure. If Ballymena get a line break, scramble back, do whatever they do to try and kill it and make sure that it's not an easy score.
Ballymena brought on number 19 Daniel Hayburn, who's going to move into the second row.
Same setup, don't change. Crunch!
My word, the temperature is dropping.
Set!
Another big scrum. They've gone with the put in so far. Away by Ballymena. Coleman, nice and flat. A little dummy there by Ballymena, and Ince have come away with the ball, and it's Charlie O'Connor's got across the Ballymena 10-metre line. Soper, I think, thought about the kick. Somebody did kick. It's come off a Ballymena hand and spilled forward. And the referee, you can hear, Chris Busby, who I think has enjoyed himself today, saying advantage knock on. His first Schools Cup game, he was meant to do the one between Wallace and Armagh that didn't take place, and then of course the following year there was no competition, so he's delighted to be doing this. That's a highlight, I think, of every referee, like every player's rugby CV.
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. It's probably been helped by the fact it's been such an entertaining game. Both teams have been very accurate with what they've done, particularly the first half. Second half, a few mistakes have crept into both teams, but it's been a free-flowing game, and I think Chris has done really well by not having to be massively a part of it. Jimmy hasn't been whistling a lot. He's been encouraging the players to play, and it's been an excellent performance both by him and both teams.
Set!
Put in by Ballymena's replacement scrum half, Ruben Allen. Now they are going to kick this, and they're going to kick it into a bit of space, and that'll allow Ince to go all the way back. And it's going to bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce, and if it's touched down, it will go all the way back. No, it's not going to go back. It's a goal line dropout. I do beg your pardon.
Yeah, Jim, do you know, when they kick it, you're kind of thinking maybe they need to hold on to it, but with that outcome, as I said earlier, into the wind, they're going to get an opportunity now to attack around the 22-metre line. So it's a brilliant outcome for Ballymena here, and I would imagine that Josh Gibson will try and hit this as long as he can, but Ballymena now has one final opportunity here to try and get a try to even up.
4 minutes to go. 21 points to 14. That close to a second successive Schools Cup victory. Left-footed restart kick by Gibson. It's been allowed to go a little bit too far. Here come Ballymena. Charlie Hargey bundles forward and Ince give away the penalty. No point in doing anything silly, Ballymena. They have a great chance to pop this into the corner, which is what I'm sure they'll do.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It's just whether or not he's going to get a yellow card here for the high shot.
He is. Yeah, Blake McLean, the tight head prop of Ince, has gone to the bin. Now, how significant is this going to be? Because he's been a stalwart of the inset piece for the past couple of seasons, and now he's not going to take any further part in this. If they go for a scrum, they'll have to bring somebody on who can scrum. But in the meantime, it's Coleman, not quite for the corner. Might have got a bit closer, but that'll do.
Yeah, he obviously just wanted to make sure at this stage. So now an opportunity, Ballymena. I would imagine this will be a forward-dominated effort from Ballymena with the maul, and then whether or not they have Hargey or somebody breaking out. Again, a good carry by Hargey. He's been hugely impressive in this game, Jim, at number 8. Both number 8s have been massively dominant in their carries and in both attacking plays.
Joshua Harvey with the throw. Oh, that's gone to the inside and well scooped in by James Clark, who has been everywhere for RBAI. That's gone forward. Slippery hands, jangled nerves.
Yeah, you can just see the tension out there, Jim. Everybody, the nerves have suddenly ramped up from being so calm and casual in the first half and so accurate. Both teams now, turnovers, struggling with set pieces. Obviously the change now is needing to be made for the yellow card. It's now up to Ballymena. Do they go for a strike play, or do they go with Charlie Hargey off the base and then just pick and go and try and get the tie that way?
Instead have had to bring on a replacement tight head prop. More about that in a moment. I'm not sure who's left the field to accommodate that, but you have to have players who are physically capable of playing in the front row at all times. Initial knock forward was by Ballymena, so Ince actually have the scrum, a chance to clear their lines. Well, they're not going to clear their lines. Cunningham was going to drive forward, and what a thrust by the Ince skipper. Talk about leading by example. Outside the 22, so no direct into touch anymore. I don't think that Ince can hang on to it for the next 2 minutes and a little bit, and the referee certainly won't allow them to do that anymore. Good counter-rucking by Ballymena. Ince replacement scrum half has got himself into a wee bit of trouble there, but still there for the cup holders, who are 2 minutes away from repeating their feat of last year when they stole it right at the death. That's a clever kick by Ince. Has it gone into touch? Yes, it has. Not so clever then.
No, good idea, Jim. As you said, the referee making the music, weren't allowed to sort of keep picking and going. Again, last chance. Ballymena have seen a few of their set pieces go awry in the second half. This is now go to your banker ball. What's Alan O'Connor got them to do? Just win this and then go from there, because this is really last chance saloon.
Fraser Cunningham, the Ince skipper, is down, it seems, with a little bit of cramp, and sensibly Ince are all getting together. It's got very cold here. St Patrick is still turning up the warm side of the stone, as we say, on a fairly regular basis. So what are they saying? Ince standing just to the left there is a man who played in 3 successive winning Schools Cup finals for Ince. Callum Reid, the Ulster prop, who's just recovering from a little bit of surgery, had a nasty stuff cleared out from his back and a little bit of bone shaving toward the base of the spine, and he hopes to be, well, playing perhaps even before the end of the season, which, fingers crossed for him. What a good prop he has been for RBAI and for Ulster.
Yeah, he's a young guy with loads of talent, just hasn't quite had the opportunity to get that run of games that we need from him to have the opportunity to try and break into that Ulster team. But as you said, a quality player.
Right from the word go. I remember seeing him playing in a Medallion Shield game, and I wondered who he was. So big line out this for Ballymena just over a minute ago. Oh, Ince have stolen it. Well, whoever is organising the Ince line out deserves every single bit of praise, because Ballymena have had their chances and they just haven't happened. We are now into the final minute of this game here, and as the ball is still been played, I'll give my friend a nudge and say, who is your player of the game and player of the match?
Yeah, there have been a number of quality players from Ballymena. I think James McElroy and Charlie Hargey. From Ince, James Clark, Callum Super. But for me, Jim, today, man of the match will be number 8, Adam Boyd.
Well, his big brother lifted the cup after a try-scoring effort at the end. Jacob Boyd, who's here today watching. 30 seconds to go, and it is Ince Cup. You would think all but the shouting, and there's going to be plenty of shouting. So Adam Boyd, the man of the match. Ball back in the inside, and they're playing a sensible game. They're taking it forward, keeping it away from Ballymena Academy. And there's a little pop and drive, and once again it's loose head Zach Molyneux takes it on. Just a matter of seconds to go. Here go Ince again. Final drive by a very outstanding forward pack who've been matched all the way by an equally outstanding Ballymena forward pack. Ball has gone loose. Ball has gone loose, and Academy had got themselves offside, and Ince have got the penalty, and Ballymena can't believe that they didn't get a chance to try to pull this game out of the fire. It'll be a tap by Ince, it'll be into touch by Ince, and then it'll be celebrations by Ince as the cup goes back to the centre of Belfast. In it goes by Charlie Gray, the outside half, and lots of very happy Incestonians, past, present and future, all round this ground. It's a sea of black and yellow once again, and Ince have won the Schools Cup for the 34th time.
And Jim, what a final we've seen today. I think two very evenly matched teams. First half particularly, fantastic performance from both. Second half, I think as the rain came in, as the conditions worsened slightly, I think Ince were just slightly the more accurate, and I think credit goes to Ince, credit goes to both teams for such a fantastic performance. The standard of these players now, Jim, it's excellent. You just hope that a number of them continue to play next year, whether at club, whether representative, and they just don't leave this as their last game. But memories will be made, and I think fantastic performances, but probably Ince just deserved to edge it through their accuracy in that second half.
I remember doing a radio programme many years ago, and I interviewed a number of Schools Cup winning captains or Schools Cup winning players who had gone on to play international rugby for Ireland. Dion Glass, Billy McComb, Colin Patterson, Harry Steele, Frank Wilson from the boys model, John Hewitt from Ince, and every single one of them said that nothing compared to playing and winning a Schools Cup final on St Patrick's Day here in Belfast.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure I played in two, but unfortunately lost two. But again, even just today, the WhatsApp groups go from guys you played with, those memories. You remember the games, the players you play against. No matter where they go to, they will remember today. And whether you've won or lost, the memories of it, the build-up all week in school, the buzz around the school, the excitement of the game, playing in the Kingspan, it's something that some of these guys will never do again, and it definitely will never forget. And just credit to Ince, they'll enjoy it. They've won plenty of them, and you can just see the devastation in the Ballymena team.
Now some of the Ince boys will be getting a second successive chance to put their hands on the second oldest rugby trophy in the entire world, and the oldest in Ireland. Josh Gibson and Alex Place, Fraser Cunningham were there last year, as was Callum Soper. Blake McLean, who got himself binned at the end, was a winner last year, as was James Clark. And off the bench last year came Lachlan Sweeney and Milo Carter, Zach Molyneux and Ewan Patterson. But all in all, it's been a terrific performance, and Ince skipper Fraser Cunningham getting a pat, as they all are getting a pat, from the Ince coach Jamie Kirk. It's been a great year for rugby for RBAI. They've won the Schools Cup, they've also won the Medallion Shield, they've won the second 15 trophy, and they've won the third 15 trophy. And just to show it's not all about rugby at Ince, the boys won the Bernie Cup hockey.
Yeah, very, very impressive.
Thank you, Ian. Just sorry to cut you off. We'll talk to you in a wee second. Let's go to the far side in the touchline and join Gavin Andrews.
Jimmy, and thank you. Great afternoon. What a game.
Well, it's just a credit to both sides. What a great game in what became very difficult conditions as well in that second half. But just the skill levels across the board, their ability to put the ball through hands, the defensive systems. A credit to John Nicholl and Jamie Kirk, the coaches and the coaching staff. What a great final, and congratulations to Belfast Inst.
Had a bit of everything. Really accurate first half. It got pretty tense near the end.
Yeah, well, we got 4 lovely tries in the first half. Real good spectacle. Thought that was going to be the same in the second. The rain came in. Al's big dance must have done the trick. But yeah, I think just it was a case of Inst capitalising on the opportunities that they got. I mean, obviously, what a cameo for Ross Dillon off the bench. He saves a try on one end and scores a try on the other. So, he'll be delighted. But yeah, what a performance by Ballymena as well. You've got to give them a huge amount of credit. They'll be disappointed they didn't take their opportunities, and just little mistakes crept into the game at line out. And again, here we're seeing just this concerted power by the Inst forwards, and then Ross Dillon just gets over the line, and it was nip and tuck like that in the second half, just about taking your opportunities. Forward power, good carries, round the corner, good clean out. Callum Soper just putting the ball on a sixpence, and again just on the back foot the whole time, and Ballymena just that close to the line just weren't able to contain the power that Inst brought in that moment.
Fierce and very physical. I suppose it always is, but it seems to be getting more and more.
Well, Gav, I was hugely surprised just at the level of physicality, but the level of technique as well. Just really, really good quality tackling, low chops. I mean, we're obviously very, very aware of concussion at this in the game at the moment, but the quality and technique that's being shown there. So again, credit to all the coaching that's going on.
And I suppose we always see both sides of a Schools Cup. You see the ultimate high and then the ultimate low for these lads as well. It's got it's tough to watch.
Okay, look, I mean, obviously Ballymena will be gutted. I mean, was it 14 years ago when John Andrew and Matty Wren, those boys were running around here.
Yeah, I was chatting to Murder. He said he was feeling old, but then I was saying 1992 was a long time ago for you.
That is old. But no, look, obviously Ballymena boys will be disappointed. Some of them will be back to have another crack next year, and some of the Inst boys as well. But at the end of the day, Inst just had a little bit too much quality there on the day.
Yeah, we're going to get to the presentation very shortly, but let's hear from the Inst head coach. Congratulations, Jamie.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
It's a bit difficult to put into words, to be honest. It hasn't really sunk in yet, so just immensely proud of the boys, the effort that they showed there. And like today was a game, it wasn't really about the flashy stuff as the weather started to turn, and it was massive heart from them. And credit to Ballymena, they made it really difficult, but it's difficult to put into words.
And both sides put on a lot of quality rugby, particularly first half. It was a credit to both coaches.
I think, the conditions didn't affect the start of the game too badly, and both teams showed a bit of ambition in terms of how they wanted to play. And obviously the wind picked up a little bit and the rain came in, so that affected the game in the second half. But both teams battled really hard, so I'm sure both teams can be proud of their effort.
It's been a huge year for rugby at Inst, hasn't it?
It has indeed, and a huge year for sport. There's a real feeling around the school at the minute, whether that's junior rugby, whether it's the second 15 or the third 15, or even the hockey. And there's a real atmosphere and environment. The boys want to get involved, so it's brilliant. How
much credit does the referee take today? We see him getting his little medal there. He let things flow.
Yeah, absolutely, and we were delighted to see Chris appointed, because you're not probably going to get a better referee in Ireland at the minute. And one of the things that he does really well is he communicates brilliantly. So I think that's excellent for schoolboy rugby. So we're very grateful.
And I was chatting to Johnny about the other side of it, the team that don't get to lift the trophy. Ballymena were brilliant today.
They were, they made it really difficult, and they're a tight-knit group, and credit to John in terms of how well he had them drilled. And I'm sure it's difficult at the minute, but it's difficult to say.
Just a final one. What does it mean to you guys before the boys lift that trophy? What does it mean to everyone?
Again, it's really hard to put into words. A lot of the group will have worked for this for a long time. Maybe some of their last games in the jersey, and the jersey means so much to them, and to finish that on a high, I'm sure is an amazing feeling. So we're very proud of their effort.
It seems to flow seamlessly year on year. Guys getting another chance on another special day for the Boyd family.
There's probably cycles in terms of that, but Adam has a big a big role model ahead of him, and I don't think he showed too much in terms of pressure today. He stepped up to it, and the history behind things, whether it's Jacob last year, it gives the boys confidence. So I think you can see that today.
Okay, I think you should maybe go and enjoy the boys lifting that trophy. Congratulations again.
Thanks very much.
And we'll hand you back to Jim Neely for the special moment for instance.
Well, the Ballymena Academy boys who did themselves and the school and the town and the great rugby fortress of Ballymena, really proud. The Man of the Watch award has been given to the Ince number 8, Adam Boyd, and the Ince skipper Fraser Cunningham will come up and will introduce his players, who will be presented with their medals by Vicky Davis, the chief executive of Danske Bank UK, terrific sponsors of the game at schools level here in this part of the world. As we said, from Zach Molyneux, Hooker Ewan Patterson, lots of black and yellow here. Vicky Davis, delighted to be here, loves her rugby. 2 second rows. Lachlan Sweeney, whose grandpa played rugby with me, both at school and afterwards, with a speedy wing 3/4, and Alan Sweeney. There's outside half Charlie Gray, who'll be back next year. James Kerrs is only in 5th year. Charlie O'Connor, likewise in 5th year too. May move to right half next year, who knows. Fullback Josh Gibson wearing number 15, and then some of the replacements. Wonderful moment for these boys, and they're behind, getting ready to be presented by Dennis Gardner, the president of the Ulster branch of the IRFU, is going to present this wonderful trophy, first competed for way back in 1876, Ireland's oldest rugby trophy, and second only to the London Hospital Cups in terms of world rugby. There's been 2 or 3 shields that have had to be produced. The original cup is no longer there. It's in a cabinet. Some were safe, not going to be kicked up and down anywhere. And there's the moment that every rugby captain and every Ince rugby captain wants to have. And Ince are the Schools Cup champions for the 2nd year in a row and for the 34th overall. Deserved winners, terrific final, full marks to Ballymena Academy, but the edge, and that final edge was always just there, and the cup goes back to the centre of Belfast.
It's a big lump of a trophy, Johnny Bell. Do you remember how heavy it is?
Well, it's a long time ago, but what a great feeling there for Fraser Cunningham to lift that trophy. And I mean, he had a magnificent game, especially towards the latter stage of that. He really stood up. So, yeah, what a feeling for those boys. They'll obviously go over to their supporters now and just lift the trophy over the Nevin Spence end. So, great feeling.
Yeah, word for the fans. They were right beside us last year when they won it. They're in the distance this time, so we can hear ourselves think, but they've been great.
They've been unbelievable. Obviously, we were up down this Ballymena end, and yeah, they were very, very noisy. So both sets of supporters competing against each other. We should definitely get them in a couple of match nights in Ulster and get the vuvuzelas out.
Here they go. They're ready to celebrate with those fans. It's been a long old wait. Another year, another Ince victory. With any luck, we're going to hear from the captain. But yeah, that's what it's all about, Johnny. Those pictures. Yeah, well, I mean, the investment that these guys put in, the effort. This is sometimes from 3 years of hard work. They put in 5th years, lower 6th, the upper 6th years, and they just put in the effort, the early mornings, the weight training, the analysis stuff they go through, and then the on-pitch training. So there's a huge amount of effort goes in. So a huge amount of credit and effort, and congratulations to everyone involved. And they delivered great rugby in those circumstances, because you talk about how long it's been the build up to this final and how big a deal it is around the schools, and they managed to deliver on the pitch as well despite the pressure.
Well, yeah, and that's what it's all about. I mean, these are young lads, you've got to remember, and they're out here playing in front of what is it, like 8,000-9,000 people, and there is pressure involved in that, and in difficult conditions, and that's what really I admire, just the skill levels that went in, the composure under pressure, and their ability to deliver in those moments. And yeah, a huge amount of credit, as I said before, the coaching staff, all the background staff. There's a lot of effort goes in just to give these guys the confidence and put them in a good place. And both sets of both Ballymena and Ince put on a really good show today.
And those are the days that will bode well for them in the future if they do go on and have international careers and Ulster careers, and some of them may well do that.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's exciting. This is sometimes where it's a launch pad to a lot of players' careers, and to play here and the home of Ulster rugby and in front of your home fans is just what it's all about. So I'm sure there's no doubt we'll see a lot of those names out there today. We'll be pushing through into the age grade pathway and then further, and obviously some will go on just to enjoy life and play uni rugby or whatever they go forward and do. But this will be a special moment.
Yeah, it's a big day for pathways, because all the Ulster fans who come in here week in, week out want to see young Ulster lads making it through. Yeah, and as you say, there's plenty of boys up here who put their hand up, to go on and receive further honours. So, at schools level, the effort and the time that they put in, and it puts them in good stead coming into that sort of that next level. The amount of time and commitment that you have to put in to become a pro. So the schools set them up well for it. It's a big challenge, though, getting them through from this point to the next level and then beyond into professional rugby. Yeah, well, that's all in good time. At the minute, these boys will not be worrying about that. They'll be thinking about celebrating this evening with their family and friends, and and then they'll think they'll probably go on to age grade work, and then some of them might come into the academy, and it's just it's a process, and there's a lot of hard work ahead. But what a day for them. Yeah, they really are enjoying their moment. They're mingling with the fans. That's going to be some photo when we see it. John Dixon, no doubt, will be down there, taking a picture or two. Ballymena end, completely gone, but there were a few young guys who really put their hand up today. Got some names we might be seeing in the future there as well. Yeah, there were a lot of great Ballymena players today. I thought James McElroy at 9 just led the tempo in the game for Ballymena and got their forwards into the game. His kicking was good, his passing was good. I obviously thought that back row of Hargey, he really stood out. Big, bullock and ball carrying forward, just got them on the front foot. And fifth year. And he's in his fifth year. I mean, it's amazing, these guys. I mean, that's the amazing thing. These guys are big, strong athletes, and you say some of them are only in fifth year. So, yeah, it's exciting and bodes well for Ballymena, because there'll be a good mixture in that squad, and hopefully they'll be back again next year. Yeah, Adam Boyd on the other side of things, another fifth year, has followed in the footsteps of his big brother with a player of the match performance. Oh, flip, his mum and dad must be proud. I mean, yeah, they've got a dynasty there, they're bringing them through. So yeah, Adam was superb. He just looks a big, strong athlete, doesn't he? He carries well, tackles well, he puts himself about, and yeah, he'll be hoping to emulate his brother and kick on. But yeah, a great performance today, and a man of the match, and well deserved. Yeah, Michael Lowry's just gone past us behind camera, pumping his fist, a proud Ince boy. That's what it's all about. Oh, you've no idea how much stick I have to take. I'm just a wee country boy, and these big city slickers there. But they've done it again this year. I mean, they deserved it last year, and as we talked about, it was nip and tuck today, and then in the end, Ince just had that wee bit of quality to be able to sustain the pressure and get over the line when it mattered. You guys have a big run coming up. You're heading off to South Africa with Ulster tomorrow. Yeah, exciting for us. Really looking forward to it. It's great that we get a lot of the Irish boys back, and they'll travel with us. And yeah, we're going over there really just to get our season back on track. Richie Murphy's come in, and he'll be excited about getting in with the boys. And there's business stuff to do as well. We've got 2 big games now kicking in. Obviously the Sharks. And then we go to the Stormers. So 2 tough games in South Africa, and then Montpellier in the round of 16. So important weeks ahead. Kind of ideal for Richie Murphy to come in and get away with everybody. Well, it is perfect in that sense, because he can really put his stamp on the squad. We obviously trained today, and we've got a training session tomorrow before we leave. So yeah, we're excited to get away and spend some time together and make sure that we get off on the right foot. Yeah, in very different conditions. Chilly old afternoon here, but Durban, by all accounts, humid. Yes, it could be 35 degrees and about 85% humidity. So I'd say some of the big rigs will be sweating a lot out there. Well, the Ince boys are in a little bit of a huddle, but I think that's a boy definitely who's going to come on a word with us. Adam, how are you? Good. Okay, that's another decent day for the Boyd household. Yeah, I know. And just quite surreal, to be honest, doing what my brother did. But I just have no words, to be honest. It's just surreal. We chatted to him before the game. He said you were a little bit quiet this morning. Yeah, it was just we had a later meet time, so I just kind of got a bit bored in the house, didn't know what to do. Just kind of sitting twiddling my thumbs a wee bit. But when I got in with the team, everyone mind focused, everyone centred on one objective. It was carried out today and won it. Some game. Yeah.
I suppose I think the nerves creeped in a wee bit at the start, going down first, but we just brought ourselves together, got tight, and then just carried out our game plan as usual. Made sure everyone knew what they were doing, and won, obviously.
How tough did that Ballymena pack make it for you?
Yeah, they definitely fronted up quite well. I think, like in our Wallace game, I think that was a big focus, our tackle entry, and I think it helped Ballymena had similar objectives to them. I think they definitely brought a bit more in the type 5, which definitely hurt quite a bit more, but it's all worth it anyway. It's one objective.
What was said there at half time, because you showed a fair bit of character to get the job done in the second half?
Yeah, he was just telling us clarity, just stick to what we were doing. Line out D was going well, stealing the ball well, maul, just aggressive, everything. Just give your all basically. It's the last 35 minutes going to be playing this season, and some boys the rest of their life. Just give it all and leave it all on the pitch.
You're only 5th year, is that right?
Yeah, so 2 more years of this as well.
And show us that trophy. So is there one of those in the mantelpiece at home with your big bro?
Yeah, it's in his room, so at least I've got one that he has as well. No, you can't. No more shoe button anyway.
How cool's it been watching him with the under-20s?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I got to see him in person in the France game, but other than that, I've just been watching at home, and it's pretty cool, to be honest, watching him on TV. But I mean, it's disappointing. Obviously, he didn't get to win his, but at least I won mine.
Superstar. So another couple of years potentially for you here. It's been exciting for Inster. You guys have won everything this year, haven't you?
Yeah, I think we won the Threes Cup earlier, Twos Cup. We won the hockey as well earlier this week, and now the Schools Cup. So it's just everything's come back to Inns.
You go and find Jacob and give him a bit of abuse. Congratulations. Let's bring the captain in. Fraser. How are you?
Not too bad.
How was it lifting that trophy?
Tiring, it's heavy, but yeah, honoured, indescribable, but it's one of the things you have to do.
What about the game? Because it was nip and tuck the whole first half. It was kind of back and forward.
Probably not the way we planned for it to turn out, with the wind and the rain coming, but just shows we can play in any sort of conditions, and credit to Ballymena, they stuck it to us the whole way through, and I think that was shown by the kicking it out on our own 22 in the last minute. So
How different was it for you this year? Because you were involved last year, but to lift the trophy, you saw a different side of it maybe?
It's last year we were surrounded by a group of bigger boys who just really took charge, and I sort of dawdled my way through a cup. But this year I've been shown more responsibility, obviously, with the captaincy and trying to pull younger boys through. Like, Adam's only 5th year and I don't need to tell him to do stuff, so it's definitely more helpful having older boys there to tell you, but it's time you have to step up, and I thought we did that today.
It's always a great occasion. It was a huge atmosphere. Last year your fans were on that end. This year they were down there. Yeah. They were huge for you, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we talk about as a rugby club. It's the heart of the school, and you can see with the passion they have, they're still standing over there. They wouldn't leave us if you offered them something. So I mean, it really is the heart of the school, and that's what drags the rugby club along with it. So yeah, the support's massive for us.
Congratulations, go and enjoy it.
Well done.
Schools Cup winners 2024, congrats. Off you go.
Thank
Top
you.
man.
Cheers.
Special day. Inst have done it again in 2024. They are the Schools Cup winners. My thanks to Johnny Bell, who spent his time with us this afternoon. We'll be following Ulster on Saturday. It's a 1 o'clock kick-off down in Durban. That's live on Radio Foyle. But for now, from all of us here, it's bye-bye.